Hi everybody, welcome back to Ep3 today for Breeding British Birds episode 3. Now, coming up in this week's episode then, we've got some exciting news as we've welcomed the first new life of the breeding season here at Ep3. Then we've got some of the native birds that previously haven't started breeding for us. Well, some of them have now started, so I'm going to show you them today. And then finally, we do have a bit of heart-aching, disappointing news coming from some of the other birds as well. So today we're going to start with the bullfinches. Now over here in this 6-foot long cage we have a pair of Siberian bullfinches. They're also known as northern bullfinches, and these are a different race of the European bullfinch. They're much larger than the native bullfinches as well. Now with this pair, first off, they're both 2023 bred birds. We've got them in this past winter, so this is their first breeding season. We have a normal hen. She's sat at the back there preening herself, and we've got a brown pastel cockbird just down here on the floor. Now, some exciting news to announce with these guys is they have officially started breeding. They've built a nest in the far corner, and we've had 4 eggs laid from them. Now, a little bit of disappointing news with that is we've got 4 eggs, 3 of them were laid in the nest, and the 4th one today was laid off the perch and smashed on the floor. So that's a little bit disappointing, but the good news is obviously we've got a bit of something off them. Now, I'm really hoping we can breed these guys. I bred Siberian bullfinches last about 3 or 4 years ago, and they're a pleasure to breed. They're absolutely stunning birds, quite calm, great little characters as well. And the good thing is with these guys is because of how we're breeding them with a brown pastel cockbird and a normal hen, we'll be able to sex any youngsters that we do get as they hatch. Obviously the hens will be brown pastel, the cocks will be normal birds, so that'll be something to look forward to seeing as well. So far 3 eggs off them, a nest in the corner, and I think she'll probably start sitting within the next day or so. If not, I have got some canaries on standby in case they're needed. Now, just to help these guys with the energy levels, help them breed, and it's also a bit of a treat for them, is once a week I give them a couple of berries in an egg food drawer, and that's what you can probably see splattered all over the cage. I give them a couple of red currants, a couple of black currants. I've got them frozen in the freezer, and they absolutely love them. They've been feeding each other with them as well, and I have seen them mating, so I'm hoping that will translate into some fertile eggs. So the Greenfinches this past week have given us a bit of a mixed bag. I'd say it's more disappointing than exciting. Now, we've got a pair up here in this top cage. Last week we had them on 5 eggs. Sadly, those eggs were due to hatch at the weekend. They didn't hatch. I candled them and found out that they were clear. So I was quite disappointed with that. I was expecting them to be full. I'd seen the pair mating, but they just weren't. So I'm hoping maybe this second round should be full. I've been giving them a couple of dandelions and a couple of other treats to hopefully bring up the fertility if it wasn't quite there a few weeks ago. And also a good little bit of news is that the weather's brightened up. It's been a lot warmer. It's about 15 degrees or so now rather than being about 5 degrees, which it was when these guys laid their eggs. So I'm hoping a bit of warmer weather might spur them on. Same goes for the pair that are in the aluminium flight cages. This pair, they had 4 eggs. She laid them a slight little bit later, but they were also clear, and they're off my best cockbird. So again, quite disappointing. The one bit of good news I have got to report with the Greenfinches, however, is that the pair that we saw last week that were building up have now laid eggs. We've got 3 eggs under her. She laid the 3rd one this morning and has began sitting. So I'm really hoping they're full. The cockbird's probably been in the most advanced condition of the 3 cockbirds we've got. He's been sat singing there, you can hear him now, and I have definitely seen these mating. So please keep your fingers crossed for me, because I'd love to breed some more greenies this year. So some great news this week is that we have welcomed some new life into the bird room for the first time this spring. Now down here we have 3 of my 6 pairs of North Dutch frills, and all 3 pairs have got chicks. So between the 3 pairs, we've got 13 chicks. We've got 2 nests of 5 and a nest of 3. So really hoping that we get a bit of joy out of these guys. Obviously, so far, they're doing an amazing job caring for their chicks. Both the parents as well, may I add, both of them are sitting on and warming the chicks. Both of them are feeding the chicks as well. So that's great news. Now, a little bit of something exciting that we had last year. We've got a white cockbird down here. He's a tick white bird, and he's definitely split cinnamon. He produces a clear cinnamon hen who's actually on eggs now. But he, for the second year running, has produced us a cinnamon hen in that nest. Now, I believe that the actual bird in that nest that's a cinnamon might be a white ground bird. So that would mean that we've got a fawn in there. So I hope that is the case. I'm really looking forward to see how they grow out and develop. Also, as we mentioned in episode 1 of the show, is that I'm going to be trying some complete food mixes and basically comparing between hard seed and egg food with traditional methods versus these new products which are pelleted forms and complete diets. So for those 3 pairs, we've been giving them Unico Feed Green Starter. I've been getting this, it's a 50-50 with water. You add that, mix it up, and then I've been adding that to a dry egg food mix, mixing that all together and serving it to the pairs in egg food drawers. And they have been doing a superb job of rearing their chicks on it over the past few days. The chicks are about 3 to 2 days old now between all of the nests. They've all been staggered, but really pleased to see how well they're developing so far. And I'll let you know my thoughts on this at the end of the season once we've got a couple more numbers out and I can compare a bit of stats between birds on this versus birds on traditional methods. So it's now the start of May. We've had some much nicer weather. It's been about 15 degrees C or so. We've actually seen some sunlight for the first time this spring. It's just been a lot more pleasant. So I've decided to put the nest sites in for the lesser red poll. So we've got 6 pairs of lesser red polls, a lesser red poll mule pair and a native goldfinch cross lesser red poll hybrid pair down here on the bottom. So I've given all of those grass liners. Now, we used the grass liners last year and they worked really well. I found that the red polls seem to prefer that much more than some of the other options, and they also keep the nest quite dry through a lot more airing outs through the sides of the nest as well. So I've given all of them their nests just today, and so far we've had excellent progress made. We've actually had a couple of the pairs already begin building. So I've been giving them a real variety of nest material: cocoa fibre, jute, sisal, kapok, and also some dried moss. And they've all been pulling at that, going crazy for it and starting to build. So I'm really pleased with the progress that we've seen so far. They're all in great condition. They've all been chattering away, feeding each other. I have actually seen a couple of pairs mating as well. So I'm really hoping that this might translate into a good breeding season with the red polls, but it's probably a little bit early to say that so far. So if you've watched the channel for a while, you might remember last year that we had a pair of twites and we didn't have much luck with them. Of 18 eggs, we managed to get 1 single youngster off them. Well, we've got the pair here again, and this time they've started earlier and we've got some good progress. So I am surprised it's probably not mid-May before they're starting, but the pair have built up a really big nest in that back corner. It's a monstrosity of a nest. There's so much material in there, but it's a lovely little well-formed nest anyway. No eggs yet, but their condition is great. I've heard the cockbird chattering a lot. They've been feeding each other. I've yet to see them mate, and I've been giving them a little bit of germinated seed and a couple of bits of live food as well. So their condition is excellent at the moment, and I'm hoping we might just have a better year than last year, which saw us produce a single bird. So quite good news with the twites anyway, and hopefully some more progress to be made over the coming weeks. Anyway, everyone, that is it from me for this week's episode from O'Savoury. So if you have enjoyed today and you'd like to see more, please make sure to subscribe down below, smash a like on this video and follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook for daily updates and behind the scenes footage of all of our birds. Now, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.